the federal government is ready to collaborate with the Ghanaian government to curb cyber and other crimes in both countries to promote regional growth and relationship. Ghanaian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Rashid Bawa, said. Bawa made this known on Wednesday in Calabar when he paid courtesy visit to the Comptroller of Nigeria Immigration Service in Cross River, Felix Uche. He said that authorities in Nigeria and Ghana had realized that with collaboration, cybercrime and other crimes would drastically reduce, considered as societal ills. According to him, when collaborative measures are taken, sponsors of these crimes will be prosecuted according to the laws of their respective countries, which will bring an end to such a crime. Joining us in the studio to talk about this development is an IT consultant and public affairs analyst. He's been with us for a bit on the news. Thank you for staying with us.
Thank you.
Do you see such a collaboration between Ghana and Nigeria yielding much result, considering the fight that has been on to curb cybercrime?
Well, it's better than nothing. And I'd say that over the years, we've seen efforts begin and they fizzle out before headway is made. So the fact that there's something ongoing now, it's a work on development. I hope that it's not going to be lip service as usual. I'll give backstory to why I'm concerned about this. There have been times past, even for instance, Council of Europe, Interpol, there are other security organizations and bodies across the world that offer collaborative services to not just Nigeria but across Africa. Even the African Union has a desk on cybercrime and cybersecurity as well too. But we've seen over time that sometimes when different state actors come together to push for causes like this, many times they end up just being for photo ops, for posturing. They don't follow through on these things. So that's my concern about it. Ghana, Nigeria, they're among some of the countries in Africa that have become hotbeds or havens, safe havens for people who are peddling or pushing cybercrime to an extent. Although I will still say that in the cybercrime index, Nigeria ranks behind the UK and the US in cybercrime. But cybercrime is varied, it's vast in many ways. But my concern is that this collaboration, it can be primarily just for posturing. That's what I'm concerned about.
Okay, recently the EFCC accused banks of aiding crimes, mostly cyber-related crimes. Could you speak on that?
Yes, evidently, for cybercrime to take place, there has to be a flow of funds from one place to the other. And typically, funds will pass through conventional means of money transfer, such as banking, the banking system. However, it's not only the banking system that's complicit. We should also look at, if we want to point fingers and not take action, then the EFCC should not be in the place where it's pointing fingers. Now, if banks are complicit, arrest the erring individuals or prosecute the erring institutions and get on with it. Stop making all these statements that do nothing, that just throw dust in the air and no proper action is taken to curb the menace.
Come to think of it, what is the awareness level on the dangers posed by cybercrime in Nigeria?
Well, it's poor. It's poor. I'll give an example. 10 years ago, as a private citizen, although now I'm a cybersecurity consultant with networks in Europe and Africa as well too. 10 years ago, we tried to do something in Nigeria to use popular culture to change the paradigm that believed that it was okay to do Yahoo or internet fraud, because we saw that some popular musicians at the time were using the same music tool that everybody loves to propagate the story. You had the Olu Maintains with his Yahoo song, you had the Kelly Hand songs with their Maga Don't Pay. So a song was made called Maga Don't Need Pay. Top musicians came, Cobams, Banky, WMI, they made the song. Corporate people within the corporate sector in Nigeria and the EFCC, Microsoft, they came together to push that project. Even the UNODC was on it. Part of the plan was to ensure that across board there was going to be enlightenment at university level, at secondary school level. There's going to be tours to really teach people the dangers of these things. But after a few months of effort, we saw that most of the actors who were sponsoring and backing the thing just pulled out because they had achieved the PR that they wanted to achieve, and then they pulled out. And we saw that it didn't have much of sustainability. Looking at it now, 10 years down the line from that time, looking at it now, I believe it's worse. The National Rotation Agency is not doing anything about it that we can see publicly. Morally, our values as a country have been eroded. So there's a new set of values coming up now, and the values that we see people are holding and subscribing to survive by any means. Some people even legitimize and even encourage cybercrime that we're seeing today. And
do you think that, we can in any way curb the menace that cybercrime? Obviously, you think that the awareness level is very low. So can we manage to create awareness in plenty of time, enough to curb the accesses of these people?
Well, cybercrime is not the aspect we're seeing. This internet fraud and scams. They're just one level. There's cyber espionage. We have foreign nationals in Nigeria stealing valuable, sensitive information and passing it via the internet, or even via devices that we use every day. That's also another aspect of cybercrime. In fact, institutions are hemorrhaging from the loss of data that should have been kept securely. Our BVNs, we're not very sure how secure our BVNs are. People are stealing credit card scams, identity theft is rife. My point is that even if we're going to make an effort to curb it, I'm not really sure we can do much. Cybercrime cannot be totally eroded. It's not possible. Crime cannot be eroded totally in any society. What can be done is that it can be reduced to the barest minimum, and where there are heavy deterrent factors, it will ensure that people are not encouraged or incentivized to take cybercrime on.
Thank you very much, Peter, for speaking to us today.
Thank you too for having me.